Good evening, Turks and Caicos, and welcome to another episode of This Is What's Up. This is the 3.0 version. Tonight, we're not on the road for here Tuesday, November 19th. We're actually in studio. We have a special, very, very special guest. I know that everybody has been waiting to hear from this guest. We have the Minister of Tourism here with us, Honourable Josephine Connolly. And first, let me just say to you, Honourable Josephine Connolly, how are you? How have things been with you?
Ralph, I've had some challenges, but I must say with, God's grace, I live by that, and I'm so happy to be here tonight. I know I was supposed to be here last week, but I had a family matter, but I'm happy that I am here tonight. So I'm ready. Definitely.
And we just thank you for all of your strength and you and your family on Joe Connolly as well, Mr. Connolly as well. We've, as a party, been praying with you guys as you continue to just go through what you've been through, and just happy to have you here nonetheless. And I know you've sacrificed a lot to be here this evening as well. Your schedule, we've been kind of crossing hairs here and there,
Yes.
but I think we finally got each other seated and ready to roll tonight.
Yes, I'm happy that I'm here.
Yes, and I also want to just take this moment as well, because you are a former Mrs. Well, you told me before, at that time it used to be called Mistress Turks and Caicos.
Well, yes, that was the first time we had a Mistress Turks and Caicos.
Yeah.
Yes, and yes, I've done that, but
Yes.
I've never made it on the big stage.
Okay, but not too late,
Not.
you still look pristine.
Oh, thank you. I think that's getting up 5 o'clock in the morning, in the gym, with my friends,
Yeah.
trying to keep up and trying to stay healthy.
Yeah, good. And the reason why I brought that up is because, on behalf of the Progressive National Party, we would like to congratulate Miss Myers, on all of her success that she had representing the Turks and Caicos at Miss Universe over this past few days here. So we just want to say congratulations to her and her family, and to the whole Turks and Caicos that was represented by her, and that was such a proud moment for us all. So just wanted to start with that.
Well, I also want to say congratulations also. She's done very well, and we look forward to greeting her when she gets back here.
Great. So let's dive on in. It's been a little while since we've talked, and there's a lot that's happened in tourism. There's a lot that's happened in what you have had your direct impact on in the government. But I want to start off with a question that a lot of people, when I'm out in the public, and they want to know, why go after a fourth term in government? Most people would say, they make the joke with me and they say, well, out of all of the people, you're one of the least likely people that needs it anymore, right? You've already pensioned up all that time. So now what makes you now decide, hey, I want to give this one more, and now with the Constitution going where it is for 5 years instead of 4 years this time, what made you want to get back in the race?
Ralph, I think that I like people, and I like the people of this country, and I want to be able to help my people. I have the experience, I have the stamina.
Yep.
And I think I can, well, not I think, I can do it again.
Yep.
I won 3 times, so this is my 4th time. So I believe I can do it. The people in this country, they need the best people to stand up for them. And I believe with all my heart and mind and soul that I have nothing to lose but to spend the next 5 years or 4 years or 5 years looking after the people of this country.
Yeah. And let's speak about that experience of looking after the people. You, like I said, again, you're one of 3 remaining politicians that's been in for the last 3 terms. Yourself, the Premier, and Honourable Akira Mizik in 85. So what would you say over that last 5 years? What was like the most proudest thing for you, like you saying, in your experience over that last 12 years or so plus? What's been the most thing that you point to that you say, okay, this is why I got in the game in the first place?
Well, I must say that this 4 years was my best 4 years. I have never had a ministerial position for the full 4 years. And the Premier has trusted me to do this job, and I gave it up my all.
Yep.
And I have achieved a lot.
Yep.
And one of the things that I had to do was to make some changes in our tourism industry. And we have done it. We have experienced Turks and Caicos. Even though it's in its infancy stage, we still have some more work to do. So I want to get in there and finish what I do, if given this portfolio. But if I'm not.
Yep.
There are other things that I can do. I'm not new to this.
Yep.
I worked before. I got into politics. I have achieved a lot. And I just want to be able to help my people achieve as much as they can, and to be a real partner in the business of the Turks and Caicos Islands.
Yeah. And why do you think, and I'll go on to another question, you brought up experience, but I want to ask this while we're still on this topic. Why do you think the people have entrusted you so much? What do you think it is about Honourable Josephine Connolly that the people say, hey, you know what? We need her in Parliament again and again and again. And what do you think that is that's going to bring them again to say, hey, we need her as a partner in Parliament again?
My word is my honor.
Yeah.
And I like the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands, and I think that people see me as a go-getter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in politics or in our little group.
Yep.
We all have different strengths, and that's what makes the PNP stand out. But some of us, we get things done. Some of us are better speakers.
Yep.
Some of us can...
well, Honourable Sean, he's a good dancer for sure, too. And a good speaker, and he gets things
and
done.
a good singer.
Yeah, and a good singer. He has
So,
all the qualities.
you know, we all have different strengths,
Yep.
and that's what makes us who we are.
Yep, yep. And I agree with that. I think that, you know, in any good team, you know, I always liken people when you look at a sports team. You know, I love to use the analogy of sports. Somebody's going to have to do what I like to call the quote-unquote the dirty work, you know, get the rebounds, you know, play the defense, while somebody else might be the Michael Jordan and get to score all the points. But each role is just as equally as important, you know.
Yes. Well, for me, I get things done.
Yep.
I'm a go-getter. I get things done. I don't like to fail.
Yep.
And all the businesses that I had prior to politics, I have achieved. And the same way I achieve in my own business, that's what I want to achieve for Turks and Caicos Islands.
Good, good. So let's go into a point that you did bring up, and you talked about some of the changes that you've, as Minister of Tourism, that you, especially in this term, having been in one ministry the full term and being a minister for the full term just about, and you talked about the changes that had to be made. How do you feel about those changes now that, you know, now that they have been made, and are you still, I guess, at the time of when you had made the changes, especially with bringing experienced TCI on, how do you feel about it now as you did about at the same time when the change was brought into place?
It was challenging, but I like challenges.
Yeah.
And I can say that we are in a better place. And I want to thank my staff for working along with me. We work on this together. And I always say teamwork makes the dream work.
Yep.
And we have worked assiduously to bring this into fruition. And even though, as I said, we are in the infancy stage, there's still a few things to get done. But we have achieved a lot in such a short space of time.
Yep.
I mean, this year's been our best year ever. You know, we've never seen so many tourists into this country. July was just extraordinary. We reached 1 million tourists this year. We have seen progress. We're seeing progress on the other islands.
Yep. And I saw you guys were in Middle Caicos about a week ago, right?
Yes, we were in Middle Caicos. But what I want to say is one of the most important things about having this destination management organization, which is now called Experience Turks and Caicos, is that we have to be able to promote our destination.
Yep.
And we are doing just that.
Yep.
You've never before heard of an accolade for Middle Caicos. Middle Caicos just received this accolade about 3 or 4 months ago.
Yep.
As the second best beach in the world, in the Caribbean. And now South Caicos, we've seen airlift going into South Caicos.
Yep.
Come February, we have direct airlift from Miami. And Grand Turk is getting so much accolades. There's so many searches now for Grand Turk. Grand Turk is hot.
Yep.
And we are making all the necessary arrangements for to beautify and to do something more for Grand Turk. I mean, that's our duty for all the islands. But we have done very well.
Definitely.
We have done very well, and we will continue to do well because our marketing is second to none. We will continue to market this place. We joined Virtuoso, which is a high-end travel agency.
Yep.
And, you know, we market this place as a high-end destination. And we're seeing the fruits of their labor.
Good.
At the moment, we have 41 travel agents here from Aspire in the UK.
Okay.
And they are here visiting all the islands. And, of course, what's going to come out of that is some really good promotions.
Yep.
So we're doing very well. First time, there's a tourism office in North Caicos.
Yep.
We have a tourism office in South Caicos. That's big.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And we hope to have the grand opening very soon.
Yep.
Before Christmas.
Definitely. I think that, I think what, a lot of people, when the DMO was initiated, I think with anything, there's fear with anything, right, on what's going to happen next. And you speak about still being in its infancy stages. And so you talked about some of the fruits that you're already seeing from it. What do you think another 5 years at the helm and with the organization being so established, what would you think this next 5 years would bring from the DMO that people could expect as far as growth and just in general?
Well, tourism is our main industry. Tourism pays for everything, roads,
Yep.
Put food on the table for our people.
Exactly.
And all I can see in the next 5 years, and I'm working towards this, that every Turks and Caicos Islander will benefit from this. And I mean that.
Wow. No, that's a strong statement. And I think, I think that definitely from people listening, that's coming from you. The Premier has echoed those same statements as well, that focus in the next 5 years, whether it's tourism, whether it's the financial markets, it's all about really making sure that, you've set up the institutions. Now it's time for those fruits to now come trickling down. So,
and also I want to add that our tourism office is data driven. So I am not making up numbers.
Yep.
I'm not making up anything. The numbers show for itself. And this is the first time we've ever had a data driven tourism office.
Okay. And what is some of that data showing you? Like on
that data shows me who's coming to Turks and Caicos Islands. It shows me the accommodations
Yep.
chosen by our guests.
Yep.
It also show me who is searching for Turks and Caicos. It can show you a lot.
Okay.
And every day we are progressing.
Definitely.
We are working on how much money is being spent by each tourist.
Okay.
So that is in progress.
Yep.
But this is something different. It's never happened before.
Yep. And I think that's a good statistics. As a numbers guy, you always want to know how much money is actually being spent by each tourist and maybe how much money is not being spent by each tourist, right?
Yes.
Because that also tells us where we have more to improve, right?
Yes.
And we want to really get that out. So in that data, so that exercise there, when do you guys foresee probably having more on that, maybe in the next coming year, or when's the kind of a timeline on that one?
Yes, in the next coming year, we should have more on that.
That'd be good. I know that the people of the Turks and Caicos will really be looking out for that data right there, because I think people are very interested to know what that spend rate is per visitor here to the island. So, your portfolio doesn't only cover tourism in the sense of just tourists here, but you also have agriculture under you, I believe, right? And I know that there are a lot of wins that you guys have done in there. Would you like to speak a little bit more on some of the things that we are seeing from the agriculture sector?
Yes, a part of my government's mandate is to promote agriculture, and we have done a lot to help our farmers. We have spent over $250,000 with the farmers. We have 18 registered farmers, and we have provided them with grants to help them with to set up their business. And we also are helping the backyard farmers. Some of them don't want to become farmers, but we are helping them, providing them with seedlings.
Okay. And are you seeing a lot of traction from that market?
I am seeing a lot of traction. I don't know if you go to the market every other Saturday.
I don't. I haven't been as yet, but I do have a good friend that, Saturday mornings, I'm doing daddy duties and soccer and stuff. So by the time I get around, but you know what? I'm going to hold myself to it as before a New Year's resolution, before the year is out. I need to visit. I've heard great things about the market.
Yes.
Great things.
And we also partnered last week. Experience Turks and Caicos was in North Caicos and partnered with Courtney Messick Farm.
Okay.
He's one of them who's doing very well. Yep. He's a seasoned farmer.
Yeah, definitely.
You got to go and see his goats. He has a goat there.
I'm going to have to charge you, Mr. Messick, for this promotional, by the way. You're getting free promotion right now, by the way.
You should see. Yeah, I'm talking about his goats.
Yeah.
He has a weird-looking goat. Okay. I don't know if it's a goat or it's a horse.
Oh, boy.
But, no, he's doing very well, and we went down experienced Turks and Caicos was down there to help him out. And we were in Middle Caicos last week.
Yep.
Simply Middle Caicos.
Yep.
Middle Caicos people don't want to be forgotten.
Yep.
And
how was that experience? I saw some pictures.
It was a great experience because I've never been to that part of North Caicos. There's a wealth of history there, and it was all organized or spearheaded by Ms. Ethelyn Gibbs.
Okay.
And the former commissioner of police,
okay.
Mr. Hall, he was there.
Okay.
And it was very interesting. And I want to go back for the full tour.
Yeah, definitely. No, I know Ms. Gibbs very well, used to be with the National Trust, has a wealth of knowledge, about, the various islands, really. And I know she's a Middle Caicos originator, actually, from Middle Caicos. So that must have been a really good experience.
It was a great experience.
Yep.
Nice people. I was able to eat conch and grits, and they had all the food.
You ate it from one of those tin plates, or you ate it from a proper plate? Because conch and grits, you really only count on really truly counts when you get one of them old tin plates. You know them plates I'm talking about.
I know about that. Next time.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I got to make sure to the people of Middle Caicos, to all those citizens of Middle Caicos, Honourable Connolly will be back for a Saturday morning conch and grits, tin plate, and the tin cup with the tea.
But also on display, they had the old-fashioned irons.
Yeah.
And they have the tubs. And they also had the what do you call it?
Those are scrub boards.
The scrub boards.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I grew up in that time. I had to use that same iron. I used to use the scrub board, and I used to bathe in a tin tub. Okay. So that's nothing new to me.
If you had to go back, you could go back.
I will.
I think I'm pretty sure you probably won't have to, but just in case,
Hey, sister, sometimes you don't have water. What do you do?
No, definitely. So coming into talking about some more of your experience as Minister of Tourism, I want to ask more about the growth that we're seeing in tourism. And, sometimes people would say, is the growth too fast? Is it too slow? Are we getting enough airline lift into the country? What do you say to those types of questions? Are you thinking we're right on the right pace? What do you feel about those questions?
Well, that's a good question. We just completed a capacity study. And it was approved by Cabinet, but we are waiting on it to be distributed.
Okay.
And that will tell us, that will help us balance the development on each island.
Okay.
So as soon as I get that, I will be able to speak more to that.
No, definitely. Well, I would be a betting man to say that, probably it's saying it's very skewed towards Provo. Probably need to do some weight distribution elsewhere. But I think we have done a good job in the last few years of really sort of getting development outward, sort of moving things eastward, I like to call it, away from just the west in Provo and getting it towards north and middle. Of course, the ferry, I see that Caicos Express is looking to even start airline lift there.
Yes.
I think they're launching, if I'm not mistaken, is it Wednesday?
On Wednesday.
Okay.
Yes,
so how did that come about? Is that just something that was always in the pipeline, or?
Well, we always wanted to service all the islands.
Yeah.
Have an airlift. If you don't want to go by ferry, you have another choice.
Yeah.
But just get back to the capacity study. I want everyone to know that we in the Caribbean, out of all the Caribbean islands, Turks and Caicos is the first to commence a capacity study.
Okay, wow.
So we are ahead of the game.
Okay, wow. How did that come about? Where does one decide, hey, this is the right time to do a capacity study? How did that come about?
Well, the premier, the premier called us in and said, we need to do a capacity study. People are asking, there's too much development in Providenciales. What about Grand Turk? We need to spread the love. So we wanted to know, what to do. So he said, let's do a capacity study, which I did.
Definitely. Well, I want to talk about Grand Turk a little bit. Of course, the bread and butter in Grand Turk is the cruise center.
Yes.
In the cruise tourism, I could say, if we want to call it that. There have been very positive reports. I read the article that you made comments on it, that this was our best year since the pandemic.
Yes.
So where is that going? I mean, obviously, there are still, sometimes worries about where cruise tourism is going in the Turks and Caicos, or like how much more are we going to develop it? How far are we? How far should we be? As far as, are we doing enough to make sure that we keep the guest experience good? So maybe just speak to it just in general.
Thanks. That's also a good question. Yeah, Grand Turk is a cruise industry. And yes, we are doing very well. I believe we have the best port.
Yep.
In all the other Caribbean islands.
Yep.
And what we are doing, we have our enhancement committee who's doing a little bit more now in Grand Turk now that we have the funds.
Okay.
And the enhancement committee will be putting together, well, at the moment we are renovating a lot of old buildings, painting them, making them look nice. And also, from experienced Turks and Caicos, we are working along with our team to come up with different ideas.
Okay.
For example, we were thinking about an idea where we can, if you want to know about the Salinas, we will just put it on have a stand and
sort of a cue card almost.
Cue card, and you can, scan it.
Yeah.
And it will tell you all about the Salinas.
Yeah. No, I think that would be a great idea.
Also, we are looking forward to doing something with the old prison. We're also looking forward to doing something with some of the old buildings in Grand Turk.
Yep.
So my committee is well on its way in trying to come up with different ideas on how we can promote Grand Turk and have more for the tourists to see.
No, I agree.
We started fish fry first time on Thursday in Grand Turk.
Okay.
And we decided on Thursday because that's the day when the two ships are in.
Okay, so it wasn't just only a mere, hey, it's in Provo on Thursday we're doing, so it was a lot of thoughts on
yes,
this.
Yes, we're doing this.
Yep.
Fish fry is for the tourists.
Yes, of course.
We want them to have a cultural experience and also try our cuisine, our local cuisine.
Yep.
And it was a sellout on Thursday.
Okay. What time is it on Thursdays?
It started between 10 o'clock and it finished around 3:30.
Okay, so it's more of a day experience.
It's a day experience.
And I think that's a really good idea too. And I think I did see that out there. I know I read about it, and I'm glad to hear it has been a success. So that will carry on into the new year and be tracking that as well.
And I'm hoping to see more vendors on Thursday.
Yeah, well, I'm sure if you're having a sellout, you'll have no problem getting more vendors. But I do like that idea that you brought up about the cue cards in different areas. I think even for the local person that's not who goes to Grand Turk for the first time to learn more about our history, even at the Parliament Building. Well, I guess now it is called the Parliament Building soon enough. It won't be the House of Assembly. Soon. The Salinas and all of the stuff that happens there, because Grand Turk is such a beautiful place to just walk or just even bike around and just have different things to see. So
Grand Turk is our capital and it must remain our capital. And I'm from Salt Key, but I grew up in Grand Turk. And I like Grand Turk. And I will, as long as I am there, I'll do my best for Grand Turk. And in fact, all of my team, they all like Grand Turk because it's 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there.
And that's the beauty of it, right?
That is the beauty of Grand Turk. And we have some beautiful beaches also.
Very beautiful.
Also at the fish fry for Grand Turk was done in front of the library.
Okay.
So we displayed our umbrellas on the beach, and you should see the tourists sitting under the umbrella. Mark experienced Turks and Caicos. And enjoying themselves, eating, kung fritters.
Nice. Well, I can't wait to probably experience it myself. So talk about those offices that you guys have put in place as well, and what do you intend to get overall from those offices being there? Are you going to be gathering information as well from, like these events? How are those offices for the experience offices in the different islands? Because I think you said now each island has their own office.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if the tourists are in North Caicos, for example, they can always go to the desk. Office and speak to our representative there.
Okay.
She's knowledgeable about what's happening in tourism. She comes over to Providenciales twice a week.
Okay.
Or sometimes for 2 days. And she's been trained to do her job over there. That's better for us. And also South Caicos is the same. And right now South Caicos is putting together um, a program for the new flight in February.
Okay.
So that's his task that he has to put together for the inaugural flight
Yep.
of American Airlines into South Caicos.
Yeah. Now, will this be the first? And is this the first ever international flight ever going into
For a
South?
long time.
This would have probably been before I was born. I'm
Yes,
assuming,
before
right?
you were born.
Yes. So how do people at South Caicos? What's the noise you're hearing from there? What's the excitement level?
The people are excited. We had a meeting with some of the people in South Caicos. We're
Yep.
going to go back and have another meeting, reminding them to prepare themselves.
Yep.
We had meetings with the hoteliers. Well, they're ready.
Yep.
So we just tell them to prepare themselves, and
Yep.
I'm hoping that some South Caicos people will see it necessary
Yep.
to go back and take advantage.
Yep. Definitely.
Because I can see South Caicos booming.
Yep.
I see it, I feel it, I know it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm hearing, just even watching things online and whatnot, I can already feel, even before this, that there has been a movement with the hotels opening there, just a shift into people now, even local people taking an opportunity to just enjoy a weekend at one of the hotels there, or just a weekend in South Caicos. So, I could feel definitely a good shift in energy. And I think that the arrival of an international airline can only help that for sure.
Definitely.
Definitely. So let's talk about just. Go ahead. Before
I just don't want to leave Grand Turk out.
No, well,
because we are working on a direct flight from Fort Lauderdale into Grand Turk.
Yep.
And Cabinet has agreed, and we have allocated some $2 million for airlift into Grand Turk. We're working on that, and hopefully it will start next year. April.
Yep.
I think April. But we're trying to do something before then. Let's
Yep.
see what happens. I
Yep.
spoke to the Minister of Immigration, and I'm trying to see if we can do something for Christmas.
Yep. Well, fingers crossed. I know that.
But they're definitely coming.
I know that there's work, like you said, going on behind the scenes. But I
Yes.
guess, these things take time, right? I mean, because you're dealing with partners on the other end and all of that. So,
Yes.
but I'm sure that that you, knowing the person that you are from the beginning of this
I
conversation.
don't like to fail.
You told me that if it has to get done, you're the person on the team to make sure it gets done.
Yes.
So I have no doubt that it will get done. And I wanted to talk to you about, this campaign season. How have you, I guess, for you, how are you feeling going into campaign? I guess we are in campaign season, election season, let me call it that. How are you feeling about this now?
I never went out of campaign season. I campaign all the time.
Do you get nervous on election night?
I don't get it. I don't get nervous, but when the results are being counted,
Yep.
I just slip into my room.
You take a nap during that time?
Yeah.
Which of the 3 elections so far that you've been a part of that you would probably say, hey, this was the time where I was like, sort of jittering? Your first time, your second time, your third time?
My third time I was a bit jittery.
A bit jittery?
Yeah.
And you remember why?
It was different.
Yeah.
It was different circumstances.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I want to go through that, but I went from one party to the other.
Yep.
And but I addressed it.
Yep.
I addressed it as much as I can. Things happen.
No, for sure.
And I'm not the first. It happens all over the Caribbean.
No, for sure. Well, I the reason why I ask you that is, I know that there are a lot of young people that I talk to, and I'm a young person as well, who maybe sometimes your mind is like interested, but, people are like, hey, what's the scariest thing, or the nerves of getting into politics, right? And how people can just put themselves out there, right? And you're somebody that, at least from the face of it, you look like you're always so confident in it, right? And just wondering, where does that come from,
I'm confident because, I don't, how should I say it? I like challenges.
Yep.
And I work well
Yep.
with challenges.
Yep.
Because I put my heart, my mind, and my soul into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that if that didn't happen, I move on to the next thing.
Yep.
You know, in business, they always say you got to have a backup plan.
Yeah, definitely.
You got to have a backup plan.
Yeah, and you know, in politics or in any democracy, you can't take anything personally.
You can't take it personal.
Your boss is the people.
Yes.
You know,
your boss is the people.
And you face them every cycle.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
And you have to keep them at the forefront. You can't forget them.
Yep.
You can't just show up at the door during election time.
No.
I follow my people everywhere I go.
Yep.
You know, I'm involved in so many civic societies, and one of my biggest fundraisers is in the Pink.
Okay.
Where 10 of us decided that we will try and help the Cancer Society.
Yep.
And in the Pink was just last week. It was a little different.
Saturday,
It was a little different because we usually are able to use one of the penthouse suites from one of the owners.
Yep.
And that didn't happen this year because of the renovations. But we did well.
Yep. Yep.
We did well.
And that speaks back to challenges, right?
Yes.
When you know, as a politician or as a mother, that your mother as a just a person in society and civic organizations, you know, challenges are there, and it's how can you adjust, right? And you know, that's just one example of because I heard it was a brilliant success again from all indications that I heard.
It was. I mean, we started this 13 years ago.
Yep.
And we started off by donating 6,000, 7,000.
Yep.
So now we're up to 40,000.
Wow.
Last year I think we're up to 80,000.
Wow. Wow.
It keeps growing.
Wow.
And what we started out with, selling lightly worn clothes.
Yep.
And it all made a 360-degree turn where people abroad are hearing about it and sending us boxes of new clothes. Designer clothes. You come to my store, I have all designer stuff in my store. You're buying designer stuff for $40 and $60.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Wow, and I'm sure the Cancer Society, more than anything, just appreciates the giving back that you guys do, you know. And you spoke to, even when we were offline, you know, I remember you from my first interaction of knowing you in civics is being a part of Seroptimus.
Yes.
You know, and are you still a part? Are you still able to go to the meetings?
I'm still a part of Seroptimus. I can't get to the meetings as often, but I am there when they need me.
Yeah.
So Seroptimus is my thing. You know, we've done a lot for the girl child.
Yep.
Visiting the schools, providing them with their sanitary stuff. So that is still going on.
Definitely.
And it will continue to go on.
Definitely. I mean, there's a brilliant set of ladies there. One of my good friends, Miss Nefra Malcolm. You know, she lives and breathes Seroptimus.
Yes.
Every time I'm speaking to her, you know, there's one or two calls in there that she fits in about Seroptimus. So I'm always very proud of the work they do there. And especially, I'm a Rotarian. So, you know, we're brother sister clubs kind of, but you know, there's always good to support one another, you know.
Yes, Seroptimus is doing well here in Providenciales and in Grand Turk.
Yes, definitely.
I was a member in Grand Turk.
Yep.
And then I decided to join Providenciales.
Yep.
Under the leadership of Leela Robinson and Reverend Julia Williams. They encouraged me to be a part of the club here in Providenciales.
Yeah. And how long have you been in Seroptimus?
I was the youngest Seroptimus in Grand Turk. I think I was in my 30s, early 30s when I joined Seroptimus.
So 10 years, give or take.
10 years. You're trying to guess my age.
No, I would never. Trust me, even if you told me, I wouldn't believe you. Yes.
But no, I'm Seroptimus, and I'm also with the Girl Guides.
Yes.
We had some challenges, but we were able to sort that out.
Yep. And so that's still going.
That's still going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And so, you know,
at one time they were telling us that we couldn't be under the UK umbrella.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we were able to rectify that.
So how do you balance all of this, like time-wise, you know, being a minister, being, you know, a business lady to some degree? I know you had to give a lot of that up and someone else manage it, but you still have to be aware of it, being a wife, being a mom, being all of these things. How do you balance all of this without like losing your mind,
Losing my mind.
I mean, I just have a few little things go wrong in my day, and I'm already, these dreads are like to the roof, Albert Einstein style,
I'm an organized person.
Yeah.
And I'm an early morning person.
Yeah.
So I start early.
Yeah.
I get my exercise out of the way.
Yeah.
And then I do what I have to do. But I'm very organized.
Yeah. Yeah. And have you always been that way?
I've always been that way.
Yeah.
Growing up at home, my mom had a store, and my sister Abby and I, we had to man the store. So we had to get up at 6 every morning.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is in Sulky.
In Sulky.
Okay.
We had to open the door, and we had to do a little bit of sales. We had to look after the customers until she got there. But we grew up working hard.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that my parents instill in us. We had to work hard, very hard.
Yeah.
Growing up in Sulky wasn't easy.
Mm-hmm.
We had no electricity. We had nothing. Everything was by hand.
Love.
But we had love. And we had food.
Oh yeah.
Bread and fish.
Yep.
Or steamed fish.
Yep.
And grits.
Yep.
And some chicken and some rice. Up to now, I still like stew peas and white rice. I can eat that without chicken.
Without anything, just like
anything.
that.
Just like that.
Yeah, I actually had the privilege of going to Sulky about a month ago. So it was my first time in Sulky. So I've now went to each inhabited island in the archipelago. So I'm very proud of that. I was there for Catechist Dickinson, his retirement, the chair's grandfather. So that was a great pleasure for me. The people there were tremendously some of the best people you could ever be around.
Sulky people are nice people. We like to help. We like to cook.
Yeah.
We like to feed you.
You know that, yeah.
And one of we didn't say anything about Sulky.
Yeah.
But Sulky has some of the best whale watching you can think of. And we're seeing a lot of people booking now for whale watching for next year.
Definitely. I told the premier, I joked with him, I said, I didn't know if I was the premier that day or if he was the premier, how well the people in Sulky treated me. I had first class service, and for such a little.
That's Sulky.
But I guess, I came to find out that they treat everybody like that, so then I didn't feel special,
Yeah.
Definitely. Do you go back often?
Oh, yeah, I like Sulky.
Yeah.
Sulky is my home.
Yeah.
My mom's house is still there.
Yeah.
And they have another piece of property there.
Yeah. So when if you ever retire, you probably retire in Sulky?
I can live in Sulky.
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah.
I know where I come from.
Yeah. You could get back to that slowly. I mean, because you're in the big.
I might need an AC.
Of course, definitely.
Yeah.
But the peace and quiet. I mean, it was such a peaceful
I like
experience.
Peace and quiet.
Just so peaceful and so tranquil, and just seeing, like you said again, it almost feels surreal. Like I understand when people say it's the place that time has just kind of stopped on. That makes so much sense there being in Sulky. Yeah. So, as we're getting kind of closer to the end here, I just want to, give you an opportunity to speak to, anything outside of tourism that is on your mind. Of course, you are a representative for you're an all-island candidate. You represent all the islands. And so what else keeps you up at night that, other than the tourism factor of it, but the things that your constituents are speaking to you on, that you're like, these are things that I want to make sure that I'm on top of our administration next year if we're successful, that we make sure that we go and address for the people?
Well, I'll tell you, globally, one of the hottest topics is climate change. And we're making some adjustments now to our legislation so that we can follow it, follow what's going on in our marine space.
Yep.
And I just want to say I'm so grateful for the financial assistance we receive from Blue Belt.
Okay.
Blue Belt is this entity in the UK who provides financial assistance and manpower. And we were the first to sign up with Blue Belt.
Wow.
That's another one.
Wow.
And I've been very happy with their services. And also they have they send us. We have manpower here.
Okay.
And helping us.
Yep.
Because we're having a lot of issues with our bleaching of our corals. All of that is going on. So I'm very happy for Blue Belt, and there's another one called Darwin Plus.
Okay.
So I'm very happy. I was just at a conference in Colombia, and we are working on some financing. All the small island states, we don't qualify for financial assistance.
Yep.
So we're working on that with chats with our counterparts in the UK, and they're going to help us.
Okay. And that's to get, and so that I guess because we are a smaller state, we're really not on the radar in essence, right? So I'm guessing a lot of this funding goes to the big guys, and
yes.
they just dump the money there.
And no money come to the OTs.
Yeah, I know that I've followed the Prime Minister of Barbados. She's very strong in advocating for the Caribbean region and the Latin American region, to not be forgotten in all of this, right?
Yeah.
But yet, sometimes we're held to the same standard, but, to be to that standard, you do need that funding. So it's good to hear that that's being done. And I know for the young voters too, it may not be, people in my generation, especially in the Gen Z generation, I believe that climate change, around the world, it's next to like the number one issue, right?
It is.
And I think sometimes we kind of, because we're a small island, a small country, we tend to forget about it. But it's a huge issue, right? Because everybody's concerned about what world will I really have left, right? For sure.
Well, we have COP29. This is the first time I'm not going to attend COP29.
Okay.
It's in Baku. It's too far away from here.
I don't think I've ever heard of it.
So we are allowed to participate, I assume.
Okay.
But I will be making a presentation on climate change and how it affects Turks and Caicos.
Definitely.
So I hope you listen in.
I will definitely make sure I'm tuned in on that one.
Now, locally, one of the things that really bothers me is being able to fill some of the skill gaps in my ministries.
Okay.
And for example, agriculture. Do you know that only one person is studying agriculture from Turks and Caicos? One person. And we're doing our best to assist him. But I have all plans on working along with the Minister of Education to see how we can encourage more people to take up agriculture. Because if something happens today or tomorrow, we want to know that we're able to plant our own food, grow our own food, and at least we'll have something.
Yep, no, for sure.
So that's a real problem for me, manpower.
Okay. And I know that the Premier spoke and the Deputy Premier, both of them have spoke on, and our Honourable E.J. Saunders, about the skill gap audits that were going on. I don't know where we are in those, but I'm hoping out of that, like you say, there are some underserved areas, like you say, again, we are pushing towards agriculture. So we also need to make that skill push towards agriculture as well, right? To make sure that we can meet the need of what we're really trying to accomplish as a country, and so that's going to be something that I guess in the next administration that we would look forward to definitely seeing. So Honourable Connolly, you've landed here. I know you have a lot of things to do. As I do with most of my guests, or all of my guests, I give every guest a chance to speak to the people of the Turks and Caicos and just give them a soundbite of, why you're still here, as far as a representative, why you want to still be here coming into the next 5 years, and why the people should entrust not only in you, but also the Progressive National Party. So here's your opportunity to speak to the people of the Turks and Caicos. That's your camera right there.
My people of the Turks and Caicos Islands, I am your all-island candidate, and I have other all-island candidates who are going to be running in this next election. We're here for you. We are ready to work for you. We have the skills. We have the know-how. We have the experience. to get the work done. You've seen what we have done before, and with given more time, which I believe we will have, we will be able to do much more for you. I want you to depend on us. We're here to serve you to the best of our ability. We have done that over the last 4 years, and we are ready to do more for you in 25. Keep it where you got it. I just want to say that we have been guided by the best. Our leader, the Honourable Charles Washington Mizik, he's the man with a vision, the man with a know-how, who can take us again back into another election. So when you go to the polls, vote straight down the line, PNP all the way.
Hey, thank you for bringing that back. I appreciate that, Honourable Connolly. So I just want to say thank you, Turks and Caicos, and thank you, Honourable Connolly, for joining us here on this special episode of This Is What's Up 3.0. Another Tuesday, the people of the Turks and Caicos have joined us, and most especially you've joined us here, and we're so happy that we were able to have this interview. And to you, the people of the Turks and Caicos, just thank you again for tuning in. Every Tuesday night, you've been so faithful coming here. Great discussion again. Of course, we wish that we could get into so much more, but we just thank you for taking the time out on your Tuesday evening to tuning in with us and listening in. Wherever you are, just be safe, and we'll be back here, same time, same place, next week, Tuesday. Thank you very much.
Hey.